Hello, everyone. I'm here to give you some analysis on a recent set of economic indicators that came out last Friday. The first Friday of every month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics uh, posts what they call their employment report, and basically it's a group of indicators that say something about the health of the labor market in the United States. Now, this is a very, very important report because most economic data is driven by income. And of course, income is driven by jobs. So if people are working and more people are gaining jobs, there's more and more spending. If there's more and more spending, there's more and more output. And of course, output is how we define economic activity, GDP. Now, there's a bunch of indicators that come out the first Friday of every month. And one of them is called non-farm payroll employment. That's what you see right here. Let me get my pen working here. Non-farm payroll employment. That was a little bit wide. I don't want it that wide. Let me just make my pen a little bit thinner. And I'm going to change the color. Okay. Now, non-farm payroll employment tells you how many jobs were created on net in a given month. Now, again, some jobs are lost, some jobs are gained. We see the net job gain or job loss. And one of the more important things about the report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's very, very timely because the first Friday of every month reports on the previous month. So this means that, when was it? Today's the 5th. And so, today is Friday, and so it was reported on May. So we're in June, only the first week of June, and we're already getting May employment numbers. And the employment number was 201, I believe. So 201, hold on. So for May 2019, the job gain was 224,000 jobs. And that's that point right here. And so you could see here that the job numbers are very, very volatile on a month-to-month basis. You could see that sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. But by and large, we've got roughly 200,000 jobs being created on average for the past year to 2 years. And that's pretty good. Now, take a look at what's happening in 2008 and 2009 in this area right here. We saw big job losses. Now, take a look at this y-axis here. This scale that you see right here, this is in hundreds of thousands. So this means in June and May 2009, we were losing about 800,000 jobs a month. And so we lost well over 1 million jobs in just 2 months span. And so from roughly, I would say about June 2007 to about June 2009, we had a year of constant job loss. And that's one of the reasons why the unemployment rose so high. And that brings us to the next indicator, which is the unemployment rate. So the unemployment rate is basically the number of unemployed people, so the unemployed, divided by the labor force. That's everybody who's either working or looking for work. And as you could see, during that 2008-2009, right here, this area right here, you could see the unemployment rate shot up and it reached a peak about 10%, right about here. And then I go back up to the top graph, and you could see then we started to see job gains right about here, and the job gains were volatile, right, on a month-to-month basis. You could see that they're growing, they're positive, and that's one of the reasons why the unemployment rate started to fall, right? But I want you to look where the unemployment rate started to rise, right around here, and look how long it took us to get to roughly the same unemployment rate. It took us basically, what, 8 years to get to that point. That's a long time to get back to where you were. That's one of the reasons why the recession of 2008 and part of 2009 was so terrible, because it took a long time to recover all of those jobs. But the other thing you have to know is, let's go down here. Another indicator that comes out on that report is average hourly earnings. And this is a very important report because it shows you, not only do you have a job, but are you getting paid more? And you could see that this is in annual percentage growth, right? And you could see that the growth in wages has been accelerating for quite some time. Now, we have been seeing a recent dip, right, lately, but you could see that there's a trend, upward trend upwards. Now, keep in mind that prior to the recession, we were having about a 3.6% growth in wages prior to the recession. So it took us about 10 years to get back to that annual growth rate. So this is one of the complaints about the labor market. Even though we've been growing, the wages haven't been growing as fast as they used to be. But it's been a steady climb upward in terms of the acceleration of wages. Now, I just want to take a look at the same data. So this data that you see here is the same as this payroll employment. It's just in bar chart form. The reason why I want to show you is because it shows us more of a snapshot from June 2017 to June 2019, so 2 years. And you could see that this job number was our job growth of 224,000, right? And you could see that May was a weak month. May was, I believe, 82,000. But if you took a 3-month average, that's about 171,000 jobs. And you have to take an average because it's so volatile. But if you take a 2-year average, it's about 200,000 jobs. So what I want you to do is I want to draw a line at 175,000 roughly. So let me get the straight line out, and I'm going to draw it at about 175. Let me erase this first. And now I'm going to draw the line at about 175, right about here. Now the reason why I'm drawing a line here is because on average, well, not on average, every month the economy has to generate about 175,000. Let me make this a little better for you. Go back to the pen. 175,000 jobs every month just to keep the unemployment rate steady. This is because there are people coming into the labor force for the first time, and there are some people coming into the labor force who previously left it. So the economy has got to generate at least 150,000 jobs just to accommodate the people coming into the labor force. So if the U.S. economy only grew at the job growth that you see in May, 82,000, I'm sorry, my pen's not really functioning right. Let me just erase this. That's close enough, 82,000. You would actually see the unemployment rate increase. So just keep your mind on that even though there's positive job growth, it's got to top this number in order for you just to accommodate the new entrants. So if you want the unemployment rate to fall, you have to have job growth in excess of 175,000. And we've been getting that. Like I said before, the 2-year average is about 200,000 jobs a month, which is good. But the last 3 months, it's only been 171,000, which is about what you need just to keep the unemployment rate steady. So the employment data is something that we do cover in macroeconomics, and I do cover it to a certain degree in my history on the financial crisis. And we even kind of touch it in microeconomics too, but it's really, really important that you make sense of this data because this really drives a lot of other factors in the economy, like the stock market, like retail. If people are earning more, that's good news for retail. So almost every aspect of the economy is tied to the employment sector. So I just wanted you to get a good idea of this. And as usual, if you have any questions about this report, just send me an email. Okay, that's all for now.